Hello. Let me introduce Colin Lees, Gamma's Chief Technical Officer.
Dave, great to be with you. I've been Gamma's Chief Technical Officer for about 18 months now. And the thing that I would say is in Gamma, we face many of the same challenges that the CTOs of your customers face on a daily basis. And so I've got to think about, well, what do we do for our 2,000 employees who work for Gamma? How do we help them with their jobs? And then we've also got to, of course, develop our product roadmap, the brilliant products that we can take to our customers.
So it sounds like a really big challenge, Colin. How do you get that balance between, in essence, working for Gamma or working for Gamma's customers? How do you hive up your focus?
I think a lot of that is about how you structure the technology organization. So I'm a huge believer in partnership.
Yep.
So how I structure my team is that I've got a CTO who supports you and your business to help you with that. I've got a CTO who works on our core product portfolio and is dedicated to coming up with the core products that will make a difference to our customers. Similarly, a European focus and a channel business focus. So by making sure that my organization is structured so that it matches really well with the challenges and the structures of Gamma, it means that I can come up with a plan that's holistic for the whole business.
Fantastic. So we're here at GX today with over 200 enterprises, as you rightly said. What are you going to deliver them in the next 2 years?
Great question. And I think what I love about your business, Dave, is that you're a solutions business. And if we look at any individual deal that we do, somewhere about 70 or 80% of that deal is made up of core Gamma products, which are developed by the Gamma Labs team in Manchester and Newbury. Then our brilliant team with Richard McPhee, they're able to augment those with additional solutions when we need to put something together end to end. So my goal over the next couple of years is to extend that core portfolio to make it even more relevant to our enterprise customers. So what types of things might that be? Well, if we start at the bottom level, even enterprises still often will need a landline replacement product as landlines phase out and fiber comes in.
Well, as I said today, Colin, we've still got 122,000 of these lines left.
So we've got something for that we build up in Manchester, actually, which is our Phone Line Plus product, which can either be a simple replacement landline and make a phone ring, but it also comes with a brilliant app that really lets you modernize that. Then we've got our Cisco partnership at the top end, and what we're going to be introducing there is lots more automation, so that as the orders come through, we can automate more. I'm also a massive believer in Fibre, and I want us to get really good in Gamma at giving enterprises access to the best fiber network, wherever that comes from. So those are the types of things. I want us to bring in a new mobile operator. Can't say too much about that. We're going to do that very early next year. But from a product perspective, those are the things. Evolving our core portfolio to make it even more relevant to the enterprise deals.
Sure, understood. So we can't go through a technology question and debate without talking AI. Where do you think Gamma can use AI for the enterprise customers?
Yeah, first of all, I'll have to give you my opinion on AI. AI is a topic that excites and frustrates me in equal measure. The reason it frustrates me is because I'm a software engineer by trade. An awful lot of what today is labeled AI is just software engineering. However, I can get over that. Let's talk practically about AIs. What I observe at the moment is there are places where AI is making a difference in Gamma. So we've recently rolled out Copilot. We're also using the Cisco equivalent of that. And they summarize meetings brilliantly now, including suggesting even the actions that you need to take. So I think we're starting to see the AI tools becoming great assistants to us in our day jobs. I think that's the first thing. The second thing where I think AI is going to become really relevant is in your business, we're going to implement a platform called Snowflake. And Snowflake will allow us it's a big data platform, and it'll allow us to bring all of your data together and query that data using natural language so that you'll be able to say, tell me the assets of any particular business that you're working with. Then the third element of AI, it'll be built into our products. I think the Cisco AI roadmap's really exciting. They're using that to tidy up and clean up sound and video. They're using that already to give you synopses of meetings, as we talked about before. I think those are the angles where we'll start to see AI coming through in our products and in our business.
Sure, fantastic. So I know your background was building fiber networks, and obviously for a very big operator. How do you view the altnets in the UK market? Do you view them as true challengers?
I think that, first of all, big picture take on fiber. At some point in the next 10 years, every business is going to move from copper to fiber. And I want us and our customers to be on the front end of that, because when you move to fiber, the speed obviously is higher, but the reliability is amazing as well. So there's a huge advantage in moving to fiber. Today, take-up in fiber, where it's available, is less than 20%. So there's a big opportunity
Figure, isn't that?
to move to a better product. What do I think of the different fiber networks that are out there? Well, much as we saw in the cable industry, I think a lot of that will come together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think where we can help in Gamma is that we can manage that problem on behalf of our customers. So I think what we can do is build the right relationships with the altnets directly or with aggregators, so that we can give our customers access to those networks and insulate them in the event that there are changing dynamics in how those companies are structured.
Understood. Fantastic. So as a CTO, your role is somewhat visionary as well. Okay, where do you see the technology market landscape in, let's say, 5 years?
Yeah, well, we've touched on a big chunk of it, which is that the fiber revolution will be a long way through that. You can take your bets on what you think take-up will be in 5 years, but it will be more than 20%. I think we'll be in a world where the copper telephone network is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll be in a world where AI isn't replacing humans, but is very sophisticated in how it helps. So, for example, I suspect that in 5 years' time, it will be hard to tell the difference between if you ring a business, when you're talking to an AI or when you're talking to a human. It's just a personal perspective. So I think we'll see evolution from copper to fiber. We'll see evolution of AI. I think security will be incredibly important in that world. And so making sure that we're clear on the security products that we need to bring into our portfolio that will help our customers navigate. I think it's quite terrifying what we're seeing out there with the co-op and M&S, where probably kids in their back bedroom.
Yeah.
And we need to protect our customers from that.
Where do you see the hyperscalers playing in this market?
Yeah, I mean, today, even in Gamma, we still have an on-premise data center, and that works very well for us. And at a point in time, I think that a lot of that will migrate to one of the hyperscalers. So I think that we'll see a further reduction in on-premise hosting, but we should manage that transition carefully and do it on a cost economic basis. When do leases run out? When does it become cheaper to leverage the hyperscalers versus own your own infrastructure? And we can help our customers through that, because it shouldn't just be a race to the cloud. It should be, well, why? And how do you get the right balance on the economics? So I think that's the direction that we'll head. And that's how I think we should think about it, in the same way that we are in Gamma. It's not about rushing. It's about finding the reasons and the cost economics about the right time to embrace the capabilities the hyperscalers offer.
So, Colin, your team are working hard doing some of our customer experience improvements. Can you update me on where we are and what your vision on that is?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've talked a lot, Dave, about the product roadmap, but you're quite right. Enabling our employees to do a brilliant job is just as important.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe in keeping things simple and using the right tools for the right thing. And so our enterprise architecture for Gamma and for your business is very simple. As few moving parts as possible.
I agree.
We're going to use Salesforce for our front end so that we can manage those conversations with customers really well and be consistent. We're going to use ServiceNow as our platform to consolidate our service tooling so that, again, we can make a much more consistent experience for your customer base. ServiceNow actually allows us to integrate where customers would like to, even more directly with their ticketing systems. We're going to use Snowflake, which we referenced as our big data and AI platform. And then we're also going to work to automate our quoting. And we've got a brilliant partner we're using in our channel business in Gamma through CSG. I think they can play a role as well, helping us to get better and quicker at quoting for new products.
Well, that's all very exciting because, as you know, I want to streamline our delivery to the fact that we just engage with the customer when they want to engage with us rather than when we have people in the office. So I'm very excited by that.
I think it'll make a huge difference.
Well, Colin, look, thank you for your time. It's been very interesting and, as always, very informative. So thank you for listening, and we look forward to the next Rafter podcast that we bring to you.